The feed bill is the trap you never questioned. Every month you hand over money for bags of commercial feed, believing that is the only way to keep your chickens alive, productive, and laying consistently, yet right outside your door nutrition is already growing freely, waiting to be harvested. And once you understand this shift, you will never look at feeding the same way again, because chickens were never designed to live on pellets poured from sack. They evolved scratching through soil hunting, insects tearing at leaves, swallowing seeds, and thriving on diversity, not uniformity. Commercial feed is convenient, but convenience hides dependence. Prices rise without warning. Quality changes from batch to batch. Fillers quietly replace real nutrients, and suddenly you are paying more for less while your birds simply adapt and survive instead of truly thriving. But nature does not operate on supply chains, it operates on cycles. And when you plant the right species, once they return again and again, creating a living feed system that produces without monthly invoices. This is where the transformation begins, not with supplements, not with complicated formulas, but with foundations, plants that regrow endlessly and feed your flock in a way that matches their biology rather than fighting it. And the first foundation is Morina. Morina is not just another leafy tree. It is a concentrated nutrient engine. Its leaves hold remarkable protein levels comparable to many formulated feeds, yet unlike processed rations. Morina delivers calcium, iron, vitamin A, vitamin C, and essential amino acids in forms that the chicken digestive system recognizes instantly and absorbs efficiently. This matters because when nutrients are easier to process, the bird expends less internal energy breaking them down, which means more energy available for growth, egg production, feather repair, and immune defense. Hens receiving Morina consistently often show steadier laying cycles, stronger shells, and brighter comb color. Chicks develop firmer frames and healthier feathering. Birds recovering from molt regain condition faster because the amino acids required for feather regrowth are present in abundance instead of being marginally supplied through grain-heavy mixtures. Morina does not spike growth artificially. It strengthens the entire biological system. Growing Morina is an exercise in patience followed by abundance. It establishes quickly from seed or cuttings in warm climates, and once rooted it tolerates drought, heat, and even poor soils. The more frequently it is pruned, the more vigorously it branches, creating a bushy harvestable form that can be cut weekly without harming the plant. In fact, regular harvesting stimulates productivity, turning a single tree into a continuous leaf factory. Feeding Morina requires intention. Leaves should be chopped or lightly crushed to prevent waste. Fresh harvest can be mixed with other greens, while excess can be dried and ground into powder stored for months. Because of its density, moderation is more effective than excess. Small, regular feedings create stability within the flock rather than digestive overload. An overlooked effect of Morina appears in flock behavior. Protein sufficiency reduces frantic foraging aggression. Birds no longer compete intensely for scarce nutrients, which lowers pecking stress, and feather pulling calmer flocks maintain better social order, which translates into more uniform growth and more consistent egg output, especially in mixed age systems. The real power of Morina is not that it replaces every bag of feed overnight. The power is that it begins shifting your mindset from buyer to grower, from consumer to producer. And once that shift happens, you start seeing the yard differently, not as empty space, but as untapped feed production waiting to be planted. Building balance with greens, water, and deep roots. Protein alone does not create resilient birds. Balance does. And the second plant in this regenerative system brings digestive stability. Sweet potato leaves are often ignored because people focus on the underground tubers, yet the vines above ground are highly productive, nutrient-rich, and nearly impossible to exhaust. The leaf supply fiber, antioxidants, vitamins A and C, and supportive minerals that help regulate gut function rather than pushing rapid muscle gain. Sweet potato greens create digestive harmony. They reduce watery droppings, help birds process heavier feeds more effectively, and stabilize nutrient absorption across the entire ration. This becomes especially valuable when transitioning away from commercial pellets toward diverse plant feeding. Sweet potato vines thrive in poor soils, spread aggressively under heat, and rebound quickly after cutting every harvest stimulates new growth, allowing continuous leaf production through the growing season. Feeding is simple: chop or tear the vines, offer them fresh or slightly wilted, and combine them with higher protein plants, such as morena, to create a balanced plate beyond nutrition. Sweet potato leaves quietly improve manure quality. Slower digestion means fewer undigested nutrients wasted in droppings, resulting manure composts more efficiently feeding the soil that feeds the plants that feed the chickens, completing a visible cycle of regeneration. Then comes duckweed, one of the closest equivalents to natural concentrated protein available without industrial processing, floating across still water surfaces. Duckweed converts sunlight and nutrients into dense plant protein, often reaching 30 to 40% protein content, comparable to soybean meal or fish meal, yet grown in a shallow pond or tank rather than a factory. Protein drives muscle development, feather density, egg size, and laying consistency. Without adequate protein, birds survive, but performance declines. Duckweed fills this requirement gently. Its soft plant tissue digests easily, reducing strain on the gut while delivering essential amino acids crucial for egg formation and molting recovery. Flocks fed duckweed regularly often show improved body condition and faster rebound after stress. Cultivating duckweed requires water management more than land. A basin, drum pond, or concrete tank with several hours of sunlight supports rapid multiplication. Harvest creates space, which stimulates further growth. Diluted chicken manure can fertilize the water, forming a closed loop where birds indirectly generate their own protein supply. Fresh duckweed can be scooped and offered immediately. Chickens instinctively consume it. It may also be sun-dried for storage during dry periods. Combining duckweed with fibrous greens prevents digestive imbalance and ensures steady nutrient release. Comfrey completes the mineral backbone. Unlike fast-spreading vines, comfrey grows deep its roots, mining subsoil layers for calcium, potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, and trace elements. These nutrients concentrate in broad leaves that return year after year. Once established from root cuttings, calcium stability determines shell integrity, skeletal strength, and long-term productivity. Hens lacking mineral access lay thin-shelled eggs or cease laying entirely. Comfrey supports bone structure in young birds and shell thickness in layers, strengthening the biological framework upon which protein and energy operate. Harvesting comfrey multiple times per season encourages regrowth. Feeding should remain moderate, chopped and mixed with other feed. Small, consistent amounts integrate minerals without overwhelming digestion. Over time, comfrey reduces reliance on purchased mineral supplements, particularly on land where topsoil fertility has declined. Energy bulk and the complete regenerative system. Protein builds tissue, minerals fortify structure, but energy sustains output. And here banana plants and amaranth complete the cycle. Banana leaves and tender stems may not rival legumes in protein, yet they provide moisture, fiber, potassium, and supportive trace minerals essential for digestion and hydration, especially in hot climates where water loss affects egg production, appetite, and temperature regulation. Chopped banana material slows feeding pace, encouraging natural pecking behavior, reducing boredom, and minimizing aggression in confined or semi-free range systems. Its moisture content aids nutrient absorption from richer feeds, acting not as filler, but as facilitator. Once planted banana systems regenerate continuously, producing suckers even after fruit harvest, turning a single planting into a long-term biomass source. Amaranth stands apart as a dual-purpose powerhouse, delivering both greens and grain. Its leaves, dense with calcium, iron, magnesium, and antioxidants, support immune resilience, feather quality, and laying consistency, while its seeds provide carbohydrates, protein, and essential fats, fueling sustained energy and body weight maintenance. Unlike purchased grains, amaranth reseeds naturally when allowed to mature, gradually establishing a self-sustaining patch, thriving in heat, tolerating poor soil, and requiring minimal oversight. Leaves may be fed fresh or dried, seeds lightly crushed or cooked to enhance digestibility, offering birds a recognizable grain source grown within the same ecosystem. During seasons when leafy growth declines, stored amaranth seed bridges the nutritional gap, preventing sudden drops in egg production caused by energy shortages. This seasonal buffering capacity is what separates a fragile system from a resilient one. No single plant replaces commercial feed entirely. The strength lies in combination. Morena and duckweed secure protein, sweet potato and banana regulate digestion and hydration. Comfrey anchors mineral supply. Amaranth contributes energy. Together, they form a regenerative feeding architecture, reducing purchased inputs while maintaining productivity, health, and behavioral stability. When you cultivate plants that regrow, endlessly mine nutrients from soil, harness sunlight, and recycle waste, you transition from dependency to design. Your chickens no longer rely solely on external supply chains. They participate in a living loop where soil feeds plant feeds bird feeds soil, and each season strengthens the next. Start with one species, observe its impact, then integrate another layer. Gradually, the system becomes less fragile, more autonomous, and increasingly cost-effective. This is not about abandoning commercial feed overnight. It is about reclaiming control, rebuilding biological balance, and recognizing that the most powerful feed mill is not a factory, but a thriving garden growing just beyond your coop door.